Hey, how's it going, guys? I'm here with James Allen Jr. We've been friends for a little bit here. Had the pleasure to know this guy. He's an awesome guy. He's also the friend of the studio manager. So we're here today to talk about James Allen Jr.'s story. He is the first African American to receive the death penalty in Nevada after it was reinstated. Given clemency from capital punishment, and he made it to parole. So, yeah, we're here to tell his story. How's it going, James?
I'm good, Chris. How are you today?
Good, I'm good.
All right. Yeah.
So let's talk about, I know the prison system today is different than how it was before, and they had different programs. You want to talk about what you saw when you were in there?
Well, let's go back to the beginning, Chris. Like I said, my name is James Allen, and I was one of two African Americans who received the death penalty in the state of Nevada. There was already a gentleman sitting on death row, Robert C. Jones, but I became the first youngster that was under 20 to receive the death penalty after the state of Nevada reinstated the death penalty. So capital punishment in this state consists of the death penalty, life without the possibility of parole, or life with the possibility of parole. 1981, I was convicted of first-degree murder, and by a jury of my peers. And I guess at that time, the evidence was outweighing anything that my defense could bring up, and I was found guilty and convicted of first-degree murder. So they sentenced me to death, and my first execution date, believe it or not, was 2 months before my 21st birthday.
Yeah.
As a young man sitting on death row, waiting to turn 21, you want that first drink, you want that first slap on the back. You're a grown man,
Man.
Let's not get past the fact that a person lost their life, and so I'm very much so today an advocate of victims' rights. And did they get it right with me? Yes, they found me guilty. Did they give me the death penalty? Yes. Were they right with giving me the death penalty? No. I'm an opponent of the death penalty, the abolishment of the death penalty, because I want to look at myself and others who have made it off death row and that are out now and doing quite well. We're not vegetables. We're not robots, We're part of society, and we're giving back. It goes to say that you can teach a youngster things, and as he get older, it'll come back to him. Because a lot of things that I learned before I was even placed on death row came out of my household. I had a mom and dad like everyone else, and I had siblings, and I had to do chores, and it was right and wrong. It was a Christian value family household, but I chose to take a different route when I became a teenager. And I used to say, man, it cost me dearly. But did it cost me? Because now I'm free. And I look back at death row across America, and I go, how many guys would love to have this opportunity, who was actually found guilty of something they did, but was given an opportunity to have redemption?
Right, give it a second chance.
It don't happen, man. So, I'm very humble. I'm very blessed. I see life for what it is now. I have a lot of regrets, and I beat myself up because no one has the right to take anybody's life. No one. We move on today, and, the death penalty has definitely been part of my curriculum and part of my higher learning. So I go through life just trying to give back and, bless those that I see and have a kind word. And I'm not too busy to help anybody. I just want to give back, man. It's such a blessing.
That's great.
Thank you for having me today.
Oh, man, thank you for coming on. You're somewhat of a figure here within certain communities here in Vegas. A lot of people know who you are and what you went through. I think the last time I talked to you, you were talking to a youth program or talking to kids on how to, change their path.
Oh, yes. I immediately upon my release, I was paroled in 2008, and I've just been out here, boots on the ground, man. I was given an opportunity to meet a lot of politicians who are engaged in mentorship programs, workshops dealing with young people in the juvenile system, boys and girls. So I was given an opportunity to mentor several group of young people. And I'm so proud today because some of those young people have moved on and got college degrees. They got, bachelor's degrees. They got businesses. And,
Nice.
And they come back and thank me. Thank you, Mr. Allen, for helping to turn me around,
That's
And
great.
When you can see something in a kid that's noticeable and you reach out and you let that kid know, hey, man, I see that. I see it in you. But you got to have the patience and the will to make it work. So the juvenile system and adult system as well, I was allowed to go in and give back, do workshops.
Inside the prison?
Inside the prison as
Okay.
well as juvenile system.
Juvenile
the juvenile
system.
halls, yeah.
Gotcha.
So that's been very gratifying, to give back to the young people.
Absolutely. I'm wondering something. I can only imagine. You said that when you were in jail, your execution date was right before you were 21. Obviously, you're still here, so they extended it. But what was going through your mind when you're not even 21 and you were set to be executed?
Well, it's funny because I have a book out now, and
You want to tell us what the name of the book is?
the name of the book is James Allen Jr., Journey from Death Row to Freedom.
Nice.
So, and it's called Not My Chair.
Not My
Nevada had the gas chamber, their form of execution, and there's two chairs sitting in the chamber, and one of the chairs is here in a museum downtown Las Vegas.
Oh, wow.
So, and I don't know where the other chair is at. So I decided to name the book Not My Chair. It's not my chair. The jury gave me that chair, to be executed, but it's not my chair. So I thought that would be fit for the first book.
That does fit.
But my first execution day, the officers, and I like these guys, some of them are dead and gone. It may be one left, and I would love to reach out to him, but CMU unit, which is Condemned Men's Unit at Nevada State Prison, 1981, was death row. And I made the 12th person at the time. So I was the 12th disciple, as they called us. So the guards, we had 6 rotation of officers, the same officers, year in and year out. Upon my first execution date, they played a horrible joke on me, and I told a story in the book. They came and got me and took me to what they call the overnight cells. And the officer came and he goes, hey, you didn't get a reprieve. You didn't get a stay of execution. So your execution's gonna go forth. And I'm looking at the only other black guy that's on death row with me, and I'm looking at him, and I'm looking for any sign that, are they real? What's going on? And he's not giving me nothing. So they come in, roll my stuff up, and packed it up, and I go up. Do I get a phone call? Can I call my mom?
Right.
Can I call? Wow. And they go, no. The next person you'll see will be the clergyman and the warden. So I go, okay. And they put me in the overnight cell, slammed the door, and came back. Mr. Allen, what would you like for your final meal? Wow. Yeah.
Jeez.
And it was a joke. When the clergyman got there, his name was Father Dave Casio. I can never pronounce his name, but he was a long-time chaplain there. And he came up and he says, relax, young man. You're not being executed.
It was a joke.
It was a joke.
What?
And he said the reason they did it because you're depicted as a strong youngster. Don't nothing get to you. So the Jones, the other black guy on death row, he came and gave me a hug, and he said, "Yeah, I knew if I'd have looked at you, I couldn't have." He said, "But these officers are good officers. I've been because he was already there like a couple years before me. So, these guys would bring home cooked meals from their wives. They go fishing and bring fresh fish in and cook it right there. Because we were on top of the prison, and we never saw." The general population unless we're going down to
Really?
No.
Death row is separate?
Yeah,
Okay.
you're secluded. But So that joke, and I had to tell that joke because it woke me up to so many things. You can lose reality being in a box. You can lose the time of day. You can lose everything that's about the world. You won't know nothing because you're in a box. And I was in a box for 30 years, man. But I was put there for a reason. See, and society governs the rules and the laws. And if you so happen to make it out like I did, hey, man, you better thank whoever you believe in. And I'm a Christian. I believe in God.
Right.
I'm not a Bible thumping type of guy, but I know that there's a God, and He looked out.
Absolutely. I have a question on your execution date. Did they plan Did they give you that date as a joke, and they planned the whole thing just to mess with you?
Well, no. When
Or
I left the courts, I had a date. Yeah.
Okay.
When you leave when the judge finally give down, what he does is he give the order of execution. The jury has made their final decision. This defendant shall be put to death. Blah blah blah. Such and such a date. And that's mandated through the judge.
So that date was already set, and then they changed it, and they didn't tell you.
Well, it was a joke. They didn't change it, but you automatically get a stay of execution. Your first appeal, if you get the death penalty today, you automatically going to get an appeal.
Oh, you get an appeal. Okay,
yeah,
gotcha.
To the Supreme Court, the judges, yeah. So, and then once they start denying it, now you're moving down the track.
Got it.
Yeah, and this is what prolongs a lot of executions.
So it has to. It can't just be a state thing. It has to go up to the.
Oh, it's going to go to the federal level.
Understand.
It's gotta go all the way up to a circuit court judge,
So they have to approve it.
Yeah.
So it's a long process.
Oh yes.
Understand.
Yes.
Understand.
And this is why I am standing with the coalition today, Nevada's coalition against the death penalty, because it's a waste of money. It's a waste of taxpayers. I mean, even if you have a mentally ill person and they take someone's life in the most horrible way, the most gruesomest way you can think of, that person is mentally ill.
Right.
So let's just put him away, her away, and let them die. Let them live out their life.
Right.
But why would you turn around and kill them?
I'm with you.
I mean, it's not to say that you should take a life and, I have no right to kill you.
Right.
You have no right to kill me.
Right.
But if it happens, why do we have to live in a society where an eye for an eye when we have come so far? There are a lot of good people out here. I mean, I met one of the most strongest people that you can meet, man, and that was the late Senator Harry Reid. Harry Reid embraced me. When I came out, he took a picture with me. I have that picture today with his arm around me, and he's a beloved person in this state. And I never thought that he would be there to help me and to help my mom and, for our cause. But I respected him. I respected the late Governor Kenny Gwynn. I mean, Joe Neal. It was some powerful people in this state that wanted to see me free. They saw the worth in me to say, hey, get out and help. And that's what I've been doing, Chris.
No, that's amazing. I know we talked about before off camera about prison industries and how today it's very different than how it was before. And I was actually amazed at all of the actual good work that you guys did. I was surprised how many different industries you guys actually worked on inside the prison. Do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Sure. I'm part of that history too. I was the first African American in the Nevada industrial system program to actually make minimum wage.
A minimum wage in prison's a really good thing because you guys usually get paid pennies on the dollar.
Yeah,
or
commission
nothing.
or, maybe $2 per box or something.
Okay.
But not minimum wage, not a federal check where they're actually taking out wages and taking out Social Security and stuff. But man, what a blast.
Yeah.
1991 to 1994, I worked in a prison industry and we restored classic cars for the Imperial Palace Hotel. They had a collection of classic cars.
That's amazing. Restored classic cars in prison.
From the bottom up.